All right, good morning. It is July 15th, 2025, and we are reading through the Habits of Transformation. We are in Your Lifebook. We've been reading, and we are in Your Lifebook now, and we are in Element 2. So, Element 2, knowing what you want to accomplish. Average time to complete, 1 week. In element 2, we will identify what you want, develop a strategy to help you start creating your desired change, and explore how ready, confident, and willing you are to engage in each of the 6 macro habits of health. All right, lots and lots of notes on these. So in element 1, being clear why you are here, we explored why you want to make a change. The idea was to awaken you to what is really important to you. Once you're awakened and focused on your personal desire and the reasons that will drive your change, you are ready for the second element. Good morning, Marta. We're on page 51 of your life book in element 2. What do you want? Although I am not sure what is most important to you personally, I'm a fellow human being, so I can guess. You probably thought about better health, great relationships with family and friends, being part of your community, having stress-free, joyful days, and feeling like you have the resources and time for your spiritual and recreational fulfillment. Our goal is to help you create immense success and satisfaction in your personal and professional life. And hear that word, satisfaction. We're going to get to that in this one. And yet, the things that will enhance our health and our lives seem difficult to obtain in this chaotic world. Our days move along at a frenzied pace, and there never seems to be enough time or energy. Our to-do list never ends. We barely have time to sleep, let alone proper time to work on our health and well-being. It's probably true that we spend more time planning our vacation than we do planning our day-to-day lives. Isn't that sad? In the meantime, our health and our life are getting away from us. Letting another week, month, or year slip by without making the decision to intervene and take control of your life is too easy. In this element, we're going to begin executing a strategy and start the process that will help you make the desired changes to create the life you choose to live. There are many different ways you can live your life. You are reading this book because you have discovered that your current way is not delivering the results that you want for your future. Let me take a moment and provide some insight. Based on my perspective as a physician, and remember, our perception and our perspective is always different for what we have lived through. That's been a great lesson for me throughout. And as he is coming to us as a physician in this, into the inconvenience of disease. If your daily choices are robbing you of energy and vibrancy, and you are gaining weight and becoming less fit, it will not get any better unless you take time for yourself right now. The inconvenience of being tied to 6 or more medications and having to take them multiple times a day will be a constant reminder that your health is on the decline. Remembering when to take them and coping with their debilitating side effects will drain both your time and your resources. And like I said, I am on my dad's back porch right now. That's why the wind chimes are going and my hair is blowing. My dad's inside with his TV up. And I will tell you, I went and picked up 2 of Dad's medications yesterday. And I sat with him as he was trying to get the 2 medications together, making sure that it was the same one. Those are the things that we can make go farther out into the future. Or like me, because of the habits of health, I've been able to step away from all medications. Not that I'm supposed to say that. Optavia did that for me because I stepped in and did the work. That's what he's talking about right now. What do you want? So TV commercials are selling sickness in a way that is almost irresponsible, as their adverts glorify the importance of medicines by showing people using pharmaceuticals and thriving in their lives. Let me tell you, there is very little radiant health or well-being that comes from long-term use of medications. Now recognize again, later on he'll talk to us about the difference between vitamins and medication. So if you picture a future full of inconvenience of multiple healthcare providers, appointments, constant pain and suffering, and the time you will need to allocate to dealing with sickness and disease later in life, I hope you can see how this is the perfect time to take control of your health in your life. Seriously, I was in the middle of that in my early 40s. And now at 57, I feel so much better. Do you think we can go backwards by embracing what he teaches? I know we can. In an upcoming element, we will contrast your present and future self and how different your story will be as a result of making this decision and creating a new life. Your life book is going to be central to guide and record your new story that starts by exploring strategies, tools, and areas that will be integral in your journey. No, I have no idea what it was. Hopefully, you'll see the work we did in Element 1, being clear why you are here, will serve you well as we identify what we are going to work on. Let's start with a review of how ready you are to begin this journey. As you gather your thoughts, let me clarify a few things. First, I'm not going to ask if you think you can create optimal health and well-being. You can't possibly know the answer to that question because you have not done it. That's my job. I love that. I love that he says that. I'm not going to ask you if you think you can. He knows you can. He's seen it time and time again. I know you can create optimal health because the system we're going to use and which I established creates predictable transformation. As you write your new story, you will be learning, growing, and getting better. I will deliver you a realistic plan, complete with strategies, tools, skill development, support, and other cool ways to proceed at a pace that works for you. It's so individualized. What we are doing right now is making sure you're ready. Really? We gotta be ready to do this journey? Yeah, that's why sometimes it takes a second or a third time to really embrace all of it. Sometimes we start before we're actually ready. On a scale from 1 to 10, where are you right now with your desire to improve your health and well-being? This is a readiness ruler, a tool to help you evaluate whether you are right now, where you are right now, and how much juice your why has to put into action. That's kind of fun. Readiness ruler. So there's a line structured. Put me behind you. Never mind. Not going to show you. Readiness ruler. So it goes from 0 all the way across to 10. 0 being I am not ready to change. 3, 4-ish, I'm almost ready to change. Or 8, 9, and 10, I am very ready to change. What is your score? If your score is less than 7, then your current level of motivation probably not high enough to support the focus and energy needed to make a meaningful change to your health and well-being. I would suggest you go back to the first element, read the early sections in Habits of Health, or consider asking for more help from your coach or mentor. Isn't that fun? He tells you you're not ready. I think sometimes when I get on health evaluations, people are like, she's gonna try to sell me something. If they're not ready, I tell let's do some other things. Let's get you started and ready. I don't realize that I'm not selling anything. I want them to be ready because we can't drag somebody to health. For those who have scored more than 7, congratulations! You're ready to start your journey. It's time to design your personal strategic approach and begin the real work of developing your new story. Our goal, step by step, is to help you create lifelong transformation that will provide immense satisfaction in both your personal and professional life. It's a system designed to create long-term change. Let me take a moment to frame what I mean by this. When we talk about what we want, it is usually tied to a pleasure principle rather than lasting satisfaction. There's that word again. We confuse the things that bring us immediate pleasure with the things that lead to lasting fulfillment. Most of the things that create pleasure are only present while we are doing them. That was a huge sentence to me. I've repeated that and searched for this many times. So element 2 is where you find pleasure versus satisfaction. When we eat, we feel pleasure. And when we stop, the pleasure stops too. As an example, when you're eating ice cream out of a carton, it's really hard to stop. It has been said that 75% of the time we're eating, we're not hungry. The only reason we continue is so the pleasure doesn't stop. And he says, we'll address how you can take control of mindless eating later. Satisfaction, rather than pleasure, occurs when you create, do, or bring things into your life that have a lasting effect or value. Today, you may come home from work tired and stressed and want to sit on the couch, watch the TV, and eat something salty or sweet. Instead, you put on your running shoes and go out for a walk and get some exercise with your partner, your dog, or both. When you're done, you will be glad you did, and that sense of satisfaction will last beyond the action. The things that bring you satisfaction will last beyond the effort needed to complete them. Contrast this with something we want more and more of, and yet brings us less and less satisfaction: an addiction. My role is to anchor you in the things that will give you an enduring sensation of satisfaction and make it easier for you to adapt to a constantly changing world. I'm going to insert in right there. If you haven't done the Habit Finder Health, this is exactly where Dave Blanchard goes deeper with us as optimists. So, in the introduction, we talked about the big rocks, the ones that are essential for optimal health and well-being. These macro habits are the foundational stones that we want to put into your very own mason jar to give you the highest chance of transformation in your health and life. The habits of health are the things we will bring into our lives that will live on, and their benefits will far outweigh the work and time it takes to learn and install them. What we need to do is to review what habits are represented by those big rocks and examine each one in more detail. You are in charge of your transformation, and it's important for you to decide on what you are most excited about working on. We have included the readiness ruler for each major category to help you decide which areas are most interested in changing. And I will tell you, not everybody grabs the weight loss component, or the weight loss rock, habit of health. It's really fun to go through this with people. Since almost 2/3 of us are overweight or obese, the macro habit of healthy weight management will be where most of us will start. And that is generally where most people are ready to make a change. You may not be at the same stage of readiness in other macro habits or realize how your choices in these other areas are contributing to weight gain and your overall health and well-being. The purpose of this exercise is to explore your readiness and how you assess your current ability to change in the areas that will determine your future health. In each of the macro habit sections, you will need to write down the 3 things you would like to change. Check which areas you want to work on now, and then circle how ready you are to change. It's a simple scale from a state of not at all ready to very ready indeed. Then write down at least 3 things you want to change in that particular category. The macro habits of health: healthy weight management, and these are not in order, healthy eating and hydration, healthy motion, healthy sleep, healthy mind, which is what you're doing right now, healthy surroundings. The wind zoom right before this, our healthy community. Anyways, he goes into that. So healthy weight management. Most of my clients, patients, and readers start their journey here. So you're not alone in making this an area of focus. Around 70% of people struggle to reach and maintain a healthy weight. Apart from stopping smoking, there is no more important area to address than learning how to reach and maintain a healthy weight. We will give you some great ways to make it simple so you can create early success as you lose weight. Your confidence and motivation will increase and set the path for many other micro habits. And I will say, when he handed us these books, when he came out with these books, when he was writing them, smoking was the only self-inflicted thing that created more death than obesity. When he launched these books 7, 8 years ago, whenever he did the new 2.0 version, obesity had taken over as the #1 inflicted thing that we can stop to promote not dying earlier. I thought that was very, very interesting. There were a couple of things that he announced that was very interesting when he launched this book. So as you feel better, have more energy, and are losing weight safely, you will be motivated to discover more ways you can improve your health. As you reach a healthy weight, we will continue to add more new habits that will help you maintain your ideal weight. It's an eating plan specifically designed to move you through a fat-burning stage to a recalibrating stage. I love that word. That's transition. That's where sometimes I lose people. It is so important to go from 5-in-1 fat burning through the recalibration stage, just as outlined, and then to an optimization stage in which your metabolism is working at its most efficient because you went through the recalibration stage. And just to say, we call it an optimization stage because we are always striving for greater health. Maintenance is stagnant, and we are always going forwards or backwards. We're in optimization, we're always striving for something else. Guess what? We have 6 macro habits. What's next? That's what an optimist does. So, answer the following questions to work out how important this is to you and how confident and ready you are to address the issue and place this rock in your mason jar. How important is it to make changes in your weight right now? Readiness rule: 0, 1, 2, I'm not ready to change. 4, 5, 6, I'm almost ready to change. 8, 9, 10, I'm very ready to change. And then there's some places to write things. Sorry, my other chime is, going. What led you to pick this number? If possible, what would help you pick a higher number? How confident are you that you can reach a healthy weight right now? And there's those numbers again: 0, 1, 2, I don't think I can reach my goal. 4, 5, 6, I have 50% of reaching my goal. I will definitely achieve my goal. 8, 9, or 10. What led you to pick this number? If possible, what would help you pick a higher number? And I'm going to encourage you, write. In this book, it is put together with neuroscience. We read it. We listen to it on the webinar. We see it on the webinar. We teach it to our coach, and we write in it. And put dates. I've got different colors of writing. I've got dates in there so I know where I was and how I thought. And sometimes I read some of those notes and I go, ooh, wow, that must have been a long time ago. Because I'm a whole different person now. So how ready are you to make a change in your weight loss management? Same thing, readiness ruler, 0, 1, 2, I'm not ready to change. 4, 5, 6, I'm almost ready to change. 8, 9, 10, I am very ready to change. So what led you to pick this number? If possible, what would help you pick a higher number? Love those things. And when you write it down, you go deeper within yourself. Eating healthier and better hydration. The new habits that you started installing while reaching a healthy weight will continue to encompass a number of healthy eating and hydration behaviors. I will talk about portion control, meal frequency, and eating a balanced diet. Together, we will continue to improve your fuel sources so your body is receiving the right phytonutrients. I will help you discover the foods that add flavor and texture and that you will actually like, which will support optimal health for the rest of your life. I will also address the importance of water and proper hydration and help you optimize the efficiency of your body, even if you're struggling to drink enough water at the moment. Okay, another readiness ruler. How important is it for you to make the change in your eating habits and hydration now? Willingness ruler. Not important at all, about as important as everything else, most important thing in my life. How confident are you that you can make a change in your eating habits and hydration now? Confidence ruler, I don't think I'll reach my goal, or I have 50% chance of reaching my goal. I will definitely achieve my goal. How ready are you to make a change in your eating habits and hydration now? Readiness ruler, I'm not ready to change. I'm almost ready to change. I'm ready to change. So write 3 things that you can start doing that will help you install the habits of healthy eating and hydration now. Write 3 things that you can stop doing to help you eat healthier and hydrate better right now. Okay, and I think we're going to go ahead and stop right there, and we'll finish this up next week.